language regarding Vietnam and Germany. Where are the differences? Where are we very similar? And at the end, we spoke about the 8 keys of intercultural management developed by Erin Meyer. Now we have our last round. In a very short way, because I think you will hear more about emails and these kind of things during the next sessions. Emails for Germans, you do not have to do a lot of small talk at the beginning. 1 sentence is enough. I hope you had a nice weekend. That's enough. That's for Germans, enough small talk. But what is important is to give a kind of structure. As we discussed last week, so I know we already spoke about it, and now there's new information to our topic. And the formality depends in how close you are to the person. Formal, further to your last email, or informal, just a quick note to say. It depends on age, of course, on the generation. With younger people, you can be more informal normally. Then, if necessary, explain why you're writing. For example, after the buffer statement, thank you for bringing this matter to my attention. Maybe more clearly, I have spoken to my manager and unfortunately we are not able to. So to explain why you have to say a no, or why you have to skip the collaboration. And be always positive. I'm sure we can find another solution. We can find an acceptable compromise and then bring a solution. I suggest that we can, or you can, whatever. And also positive at the end. We hope very much to continue the collaboration, and we want to use your service in future. So some nice words. For Germans, structure is important even in emails. Firstly, secondly, or in addition, besides, I want to add. In general, I have to say. And at the end, a short summarize. It's easier to remember your mail, and it's easier for the answer for the other person. Then it depends on the relationship and your personal preference. Us, we, or you and I. I mean, Germans are individualistic, more individualistic, and we love to say it was my idea or I want to work with you. But especially people who take responsibility for themselves, for the position and for the company. But we have also people who use we or us, and not the I or you. Okay. And helpful for the ending of the email. So I hope that has been useful for you, is a good end. Or if I can be of service in any way, please let me know or call me or tell me. Then a thank you. I told you we use a thank you very, very often. Thank you for the email. Thank you for the contact. Thank you for your time. It is appreciated by many people. And if you are taking action, tell the German partner that you are taking action. I will inform you, I will tell you, I will write you as soon as the products arrive. And then at the end, yes, just give me a call if you have any question for younger people or for friends. more officially, I look forward to receiving your advice in this matter. Depends what the email is about. And the same with the concluding, if you started with dear sir, then it's the end yours faithfully. If you started with dear Mr. Smith, dear Miss Smith, then it's sincerely. And if you're really close and you know the person, hi Susan, and at the end, best regards, best wishes. Hope to see you soon. Okay. So I have a case study for you. Because of the time, we will do it together, not in breakout rooms. Try to find a solution. So Mr. Hohe visits the office of a large German company and is talking to Mr. Peter, his future business partner. A colleague of Mr. Peter comes in. Mr. Peter introduces him to Mr. Hohe. This is Mr. Hohe from Vietnam. He's our new partner in Hanoi. The German colleague, laughs and says, do they even have computers in Vietnam? Mr. Hohe is insured. The German colleague is also upset. So how can Mr. Hohe deal with the situation? How should the German partner behave? I mean, it's racist, but it happened. So what is your advice? How can Mr. Hohe deal with the situation? And what should Peter do? Imagine you are Mr. Hohe. How would you react? Or how could you react? There are more possibilities, not just one. Yes, Ms. Hani?
I think because it's a German partner, so I could answer directly. Yes, we do have a computer in Vietnam, and yes, I mean like just a short answer to clarify about the situation. But if it is another as a partner come from another country, like more flexible one, I could make a laugh at that. Oh no, of course I have to climb the mountain to use a computer, something like that. Because firstly, I don't want to put the person who is racist in the awkward situation because he was there with his partner. But secondly, I would like to not take it too serious because of someone knowledge, like he's a sort of knowledge, and he is not anyone fault, and he must ask that out of like nowhere. He didn't mean anything bad with that question.
Yeah. Thank you very much. So different styles of solution. I mean, it shows just the stupidity of Mr. Peter. He has no idea. He knows nothing about other countries, but there are Germans who really know nothing about other countries. So be prepared. Sometimes they think they are funny. It isn't funny at all. And your reaction, Ms. Ha, I think humor is always a good reaction. Stay friendly or be ironical. Yeah. Good. And Peter, what would you wish? What is your wish about Peter? How should he behave, your partner? Should he say something to his German colleague? Yeah, Mr. Tuan.
Can I? Yeah.
Mr. Tuan, please go ahead.
I consider this situation like a joke,
Mm,
maybe between Peter and the friend. And
mm,
I think that I don't mind about the joke
mm,
from Peter friend. So I
mm,
may say that, oh yeah, in Hanoi we have a lot of computer, a lot of computer right now
mm,
at this moment. So for the German partner, Mr. Peter, I think that he can also join the job and maybe say that sorry for asking because my friend he
mm,
come to Hanoi maybe 100 years ago. So at that time maybe computer not yet
mm,
in Hanoi.
mm.
So
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, that would be a good reaction. Yeah. Mr. Nam, and your reaction or your advice?
Well, actually, I had been in this situation
Mm,
many times
mm,
when I was in the UK. So, so when I was walking on the street, they hear me from Vietnam, and they even ask me, "Is it a country? Is
mm,
it a country?" Because they don't say the reason, but they even ask me like, "Is it even a country?" Because the people don't knows everything about the other country. Even some people just knows about Vietnam by reading about Vietnam War.
mm,
So yeah, many things. So I mean, honestly, like don't take it personally. I mean,
mm,
no need to do that. Um, if I am Mr. Hoa, then I would say yes, we have computers in Vietnam, and we use it every day. I can show you.
mm,
Um, that's it. Like don't
mm,
don't need to make him embarrassed,
mm,
or insult him in different way. No need to fight it back, because he is a partner. Some people don't understand it completely well, but it's not their fault.
mm,
Sometimes it's a culture gap.
mm.
Uh,
Yeah,
and yeah, that's a real story. I mean, from my
mm.
case.
Yeah. It really, I'm sorry about it, but it happens very often. Because I mean, you are doing international business, but a lot of people in Germany, they have no idea really. And when I go out to the Olympic Center, to the Olympic Park, and I show people a map of the world, and I tell them, show me Vietnam, I'm sure a lot of people can't show me. And that's exactly what you told us, Mr. Nam.
Yes.
It's I think it's not so much a less of a gap of culture, it's more a gap of knowledge.
I mean, I know
Mm,
I can say that the people, I know everyone's getting admitted in this program is a top businessman entrepreneurs
mm,
from Vietnam to present for the country,
mm,
and it would be different if we go to somewhere in Europe as a students, you go to the bar, to the pubs,
mm,
people get drunk, and
mm,
they may be like out of control.
mm,
They just like they talks of many things.
mm,
um but actually it happens. It
mm.
happens
Yeah.
even in Vietnam. The similar situation is like that,
Mm,
you know um
yeah.
cannot avoid, but just
Mm,
don't take it seriously.
mm, yeah. Okay. Good. Hmm. That also happens a lot. A second case study. You visit your potential business partner in Hamburg and give him a wonderful gift from Ho Chi Minh City. Your business partner is confused. He thanks you, but tells you that he can't accept the gift because it's too valuable. However, he's happy to accept it in the name of the company so that the gift can be part of the Christmas tombola. Again and again, you tell him it is a personal gift and no, it's not valuable at all. Of course, it is. You can't understand why he doesn't take the gift. What is the reason? Yes, Miss Hami.
I believe in many countries there are rules about how much is value of the gift that you can accept. So if you accept a valuable gift, it means it's equal that you are taking a brand and it's criminal. And of course, when you are doing business, he feel like the person who you're gifting has a pressure that you are trying to make him make you favorable compared to other business partners.
Yes. Yeah, exactly as you told us, Ms. Ha. A lot of German companies have very strict rules of compliance. And the presents, the gifts you are allowed to take may cost no more than maybe 20 euros or 50 euros. But 50 euros is already a lot. And it is, for German, it smells like corruption or bribery, as you said. Yeah. So that is it. But I will show you I will give you some examples of what you can bring with you for your partners, which is not dangerous to give them. Okay. Good. Anything else to this point? This topic? Okay. Yeah. You have known for 2 weeks that you will not be able to meet the deadline. But since your German partner has not called you for the last 4 weeks, you thought that a delivery 4 days late would not be a big deal. Now your German business partner is very disappointed and angry. What was a mistake? What are you doing now? All of you should know this after our lesson. So what was a mistake? I know you know what the mistake was. Tell me what was a mistake, and what are you doing now? What is your solution? Because he is disappointed and angry. Yes, Miss Duong.
Yeah. So I think that that's the German business always right time and very important in the time. So when you give the light that 4 week or 2 week you have come back at that time, and during 4 week maybe we don't call or we waiting. So I think that is the mistake that not follow up with the business partner, and to let the time fly away. So make the German business waiting and disappointed. So I think that is a seriously mistake for communication and keep the business with the German business partner. I think that for me, I will not let the mistake that happen, because we understand the Germany business partner characteristic. So we should not make this serious mistake.
Exactly. Yes, you shouldn't let it happen. That's the first thing. But now in this case, it happened. So what possibilities do you have now that it has happened? What are you doing? Your partner is angry. You are sad.
So I think in this case we have to come to meet, to call immediately to say about sorry and explain what is the situation make you delay in this case. Yeah, and okay, give me a chance to correct my mistake.
Yeah, exactly. And I would tell him next time I will act in another way and will call you immediately when I know what will happen. Yeah. And I mean, we can talk with one another. That means tell them you're from Vietnam, and in Vietnam it's not such a big thing to be some days late. But next time with your German partners, you will be on time, or inform him in advance. These are the solutions, possible solutions. That is, you see an international conference on this cartoon, and you see the German. He reads a concept and he says, "I can't really complain about that." And so the British tells the American, for a German, that's a big compliment. And many German act in this way. If we don't complain, then it's a good thing. Some people say, "Don't say you, yes, great, the fine. I can't complain." That's already a compliment. Good. So what we should keep in mind when it comes to negotiations, I mean, it's always a time concept. That is, do I have in time? Have I to be there 10 minutes earlier? Is it allowed to be 1 minute late? Then the norms and values. Does everybody have to speak up? Is it enough when one of our delegation will talk to them? Then individualism or collectivism. Is it important to have more people with me? Am I enough? Can I talk about me and my work, or should I talk about the company as a whole? Then space and territory. Where do we meet? Do we meet in Vietnam? Do we meet in Germany? Do we meet inside the company, or do we meet outside, for example, in a restaurant, a neutral space room? Then how to deal with uncertainty? Does my partner can deal with uncertainty or not? How much we have to do in a written version? Is it enough to give him my word? Then the communication pattern. When do we talk about the really important topics? At the beginning or at the end? What is a tendency in Vietnam? Do you talk at first about the important things, or when do you really talk about the most important topics? At the beginning, in the middle, or at the end of a meeting? Ms. Ha?
I think it depends on the meeting. If it is a group meeting, normally it could go directly to the point. But if it is like face-to-face two people meeting, normally it could start with some small talk, like how are you doing, how was your weekend, and then it's go to the bullet point later.
Yeah. I think most German would act in the same way. A bit of small talk, not too much. And I mean, your big advantage is that you are prepared for your stay in Germany. And I do not know whether your German partners are prepared for your visit. So you have an advantage. I assume you know more about Germany than your partners about Vietnam. That's a big point. And the Germans, normally the important things are at the beginning. Also, when there is an agenda, when there's a meeting, agenda point 1, 2, 3 are the most important points. Because when I have to, when the time is too short for the whole agenda, then we already talked about the important things. And point 7 and 8 we can handle when we meet next. Okay, then the relationship pattern, who is related to whom, or how close are we already? Have we already met before this meeting? Then, of course, the success of the negotiation is influenced by the choice of negotiators. You are all experienced. You know there are different kinds of negotiating. You know that you have to keep in mind the culture of your partner. You know about the priorities you want to talk about. Then the style of negotiations, direct, indirect, reading between the lines. Important is the first contact in the organization. Normally it will be done by your German partner when you come to Germany, but he has to organize the first meeting because he is from Germany. Then beginning of the negotiation, we talked about a bit small talk, communication. It is about verbal and non-verbal communication. How should you be dressed? How should you behave? What about smiling? Then who will make the decisions? If you are chosen, if you're not the CAO yourself, if you're chosen by your company as negotiator, are you able to make decisions? Because that is very important for Germans. Are you the right person for me? Because I do not want to wait 3 days until you contacted your CAO. I would love to make decisions very soon. And if you have to contact other persons, then tell me honestly when I will get a decision. You need some time, you have to talk with another person about it, but then tell me when will we talk again and when will there be a decision. Then the result, is it a win-win for both of you? Then the rhythm of negotiation, the pause between communication. Don't wait too long talking to Germans. The one thing is they feel uncomfortable with long pauses. And the other thing, it's more important, is they think you don't have an opinion or have to say nothing. Okay, and so build trust. Be honest. Work effective. Everything we spoke about. And it's a cartoon, but the cartoon have always a sand corn of truth in them. You have 3 people on the left side. These are Germans, 3, and another one comes by, and one of the Germans tells him, you are 2 minutes and 8 seconds late. Of course, the 8 seconds, it's a bit much, but 2 minutes late, we see it and we don't like it because it's. Maybe we can skip. So now you're preparing for your first visit to Germany. Of course, you want to make a good impression. And I think you would like to bring a small present with you for a kind of door opener. So about the business dress, we already spoke. For the females, not too much makeup. Then if you take a gift with you, choose a gift which can be used not only by a single person, but by the whole team, for example. That means coffee for the company, or tea for the company, or a package of sweets also for the whole team. And that can Germans accept because it's not for a single person. Then be in time, and with being in time, I mean at least 5 minutes earlier. We expect it. Then be also friendly to the receptionist. There is less a hierarchy as in many Asian countries in Germany. And everybody working in the company is seen as a human being, and should at least be handled friendly. Then a smile is appreciated, but you don't have to smile a lot. But a first smile, it's also a door opener. And about the compliance rule, we already spoke. No bribery, no corruption. Then we don't want to buy products when child labor is involved. Germans are becoming more and more sensitive regarding this point. And what is also important, that fair wages are paid. And at the moment, there's a big discussion about the so-called new Lieferkettengesetz, a new law about delivering. That means no child labor should be involved. People should pay it fair. There should be a kind of insurance for the people involved to make the product. That's at the moment a big decision. A lot of companies don't want it because they say the products will become more expensive when this new law will start. Of course, that is right, but there are very important aspects which I think are very positive with this new law. I think it will come. So, and don't be upset if they don't know much about Vietnam. It's a shame, but it's normal. And on the other side, show that you are well prepared. You will make a good impression, and maybe it will be a good example. And next time when your partner will visit you in Vietnam, hopefully he too will go to Wikipedia and prepare himself or herself. Doing business with Germans, about some points we already spoke. What is important is show respect for differences in knowledge and individual knowledge. So maybe you talk to the CAO, but he will ask an employee, because the CAO doesn't need to know everything about the product or the company. There are different people involved. They are very individual. They have different knowledges, and it's quite normal that the CAO, the leader, the boss, the owner asks someone on his side when talking, discussing your product. Then very often individuals who are not the CAO or the owner are allowed to decide. And that is why they think when you are meeting with them, they think you are also able to decide, to make decisions. And what is very important, show initiative. Don't only listen. Bring your ideas on the table. Tell them your ideas. That is important. Not only listening, really you have to speak up for yourself, for your company. And then written agreements are of course binding. a contract, or a memorandum of understanding. We talked about the new federal states and the old ones. Of course, we have a lot of different regions in Germany, as you do in Vietnam. In northern Germany, the people, they like the coast, of course, they are near the sea. And we have in Hamburg and Rostock, there's every year in August a big festival, the Hanse Sail, with new boats, with old boats, and you can go to all. You have to pay for them, of course, but you can go to these ships and sail a bit, maybe an hour, 1 hour or two. These are very important festivals for the people in the northern parts of Germany. And you can test it when you are in Germany. Many people say that in the northern parts of Germany, the Germans show lesser emotion or fewer emotions than people in the southern parts. And here is a cartoon again. On the right side, you see a guy and 6 expressions of his face. But to be honest, it's only 1 expression. And what is written under the faces is number 1, total fun. Number 2, wild laughter. 3, enormous joy. 4, intense frustration. 5, deep mourning. 6, bitter regret. So it's a kind of poker face you can meet, for example, in Hamburg. In the southern parts, we have the mountains. Many people, when they talk about Germany or think about Germany or want to go on holiday to Germany, many of them think about Bavaria. And of course, Bavaria is only one small part of Germany. But we have the mountains, we have famous castles, we have King Ludwig II who built these castles, and we have the famous beer garden in summertime. And the special thing regarding the beer garden is you can bring your own food with you, your tablecloths, forks, knife, salt, pepper, but you have to buy your drinks in the beer garden. That is very special. And there is a mixed, you can find the whole population in the beer garden. Maybe a professor is sitting next to a waitress or to a service engineer, whatever. Okay, and a lot of people like to talk about skiing in wintertime. So how it comes that Bavaria stands for many people for Germany. There was a G7 summit in 2022, and the Prime Minister of Bavaria, Markus Söder, the right one with the green jacket, he picked up President Biden from the States at the airport in Munich, and very clever, a lot of males and females in traditional costumes were introduced to Biden. They welcomed him. And so again, pictures from Bavaria went all over the world. And again, people think Bavaria is Germany. So a very clever marketing strategy. Oktoberfest, we had 2 years ago 5.7 million visitors. And this is a typical beer tent. Then Germany is a beer country, but of course we do not have just beer. But you see the girl on the large picture at the bottom, she's a beer queen. And in many regions, every year a new queen is chosen, often a daughter of the owner of a brewery, and it's also kind of marketing for German beer all over the world. But we have wine too, at the Mosel, for example, or in Franconia. And only in Franconia you will see the form of the bottle, the so-called Boxbeutel, on the picture at the bottom right side. That's a Boxbeutel. And above the Boxbeutel, it's a wine queen. She's also chosen every year as a kind of marketing strategy. And the beer is blue color, wine is a dark blue, the gray one is sparkling wine, and the red one is liquor, schnapps, hard alcoholics. And you see the younger generations become more and more clever. They don't drink as much as the older generation did. So it's a decline in alcohol consumption in Germany. It's still a lot, I think, but it's declining. And for maybe 15 years ago, 20 years ago, it was quite normal, even during working hours, maybe in the afternoon, to have a beer or a glass of sparkling wine in a company. And now you will find it very seldom. And it's a good thing, because I'm German and I think work is work and liquor is liquor. And we do not have just wine and beer queens. Depending on the region, we have for sausage, king and queen. We have an onion queen. We have a hop queen. We have an asparagus queen. So it's a regional thing, according to the products which grew in that region. What you can experience in February or March depends on the day when Fasching or Carnival or Fastnacht is happening. It's a big festival, especially in the River Rhine region. The people are dressed in costumes, consume a lot of alcohol. There are official events with these huge trucks, and these trucks are run by big companies or by associations, and they are often connected to criticism regarding politics. So Carnival is always a time where you can criticize everybody who is involved in politics. And there is a special kind of food, the so-called Krapfen. Inside of them is jam, different kinds of jam, sometimes chocolate, pudding. And the Germans like very much the Christmas markets. So they are not only for tourists, the Germans like them. The most famous Christmas market is in Nuremberg, but we have them also in smaller towns. And on the right side, the girl, she opens, it's the opening of the Christmas market in Nuremberg, and she is a symbol for the Christkind, Christ child. But of course that is wrong. Christ was a boy, but for the marketing of Nuremberg and other towns, it's much better when it's a nice young woman. So our Christkind changed to a girl. And what are people consuming during this time is warm wine, Glühwein, a kind of punch, and gingerbread. And of course, you will come to Germany for doing business, but I think you should take the chance and have a look to some of the palaces and castles. Left side above the Hohenzollernburg near Stuttgart, then Neuschwanstein in Bavaria, or Castle Moritzburg near Dresden. I think no matter where you are in Germany, you will find castles and palaces nearby. Our most famous poets and thinkers, Johann Wolfgang von Goethe, Friedrich Schiller, when you can very often find statues of them, and especially in Weimar, where both of them lived. And they knew each other. Goethe was elderly and Fritz his younger friend. Where you have to be careful, I know in Asia, this is a very positive sign, the swastika. It's not in Germany because it's connected to the Nazi time, to the Second World War, to the Nazis, to Hitler, and it's forbidden. This sign is forbidden to show in Germany. Be careful. And Adolf Hitler, I told you the name Adolf was forbidden in the eastern parts of Germany. He was a leader of the National Socialist Party. He started World War II. He brought people to the concentration camps, Jews, people who were opposite to him, homosexuals, all people who doesn't fit to his worldview. And during the time of the Second World War, 13 million people were murdered, half of them Jews. And that is the point why in Germany we do not make jokes about Jews. It's a very, very sensitive topic, very, very sensitive. Nowadays, everything is possible, queer. We have politicians, men married to men, then Weidel from the AfD, from the new Nazi party, she's a lesbian. Nobody cares. Not a topic. Then our government at the moment, Christian Lindner from left to right, he is in charge for finance. Then our Chancellor Olaf Scholz, Annalena Baerbock, our foreign minister, and Robert Habeck from the Green Party. He's the vice chancellor and responsible for economy and climate protection. One point that is really a shame, we have a new party. These are the main parties, SPD, CDU, CSU, all of them in the middle field. One more economy oriented, one more ecology oriented, but there's not so much difference between them. But we have a new one, the so-called AfD, Alternative for Germany, and that is really, to my opinion, a very dangerous party. And it's a shame that 20% of Germans stand behind this party. They are racist. They want people who are not German, whatever it is. I told you, we are an immigration society. There is not third German. They want to have them, to throw them out. They are against refugees. And on the right side, this is Bernd Höcke, one of the racist leaders. And the other pictures show the demonstrations. In the last month, we had a lot of demonstrations of people who are against AfD. And I think this is very important to show to foreign countries, to the world, that the Germans in general, we are not Nazis. But I think it's really frightening that 20% are going again in this direction. So you should have heard about it, because it's a discussion, it's a topic. Okay, then good to know. Maybe when you are not in a hotel, but you live in a private house, we have quiet times between 10 p.m. to 7 a.m. Children are allowed to be noisy because they are children. And we are famous that we stop at a green, at a traffic light when it's red, even if no car is around. But we are used to it. We stand even if there's no car around, and we want to be a role model for children. When you want to call your business partner, you shouldn't do it after 8 p.m. because then family are at home and it's private time. even in business text, people like to toast, and so look straight into the eyes when you're toasting, and do not toast crosswise. So not crosswise, because this is considered a bad omen. Nobody believes in bad omen, but nevertheless they don't do it. And smoking, normally in business context, there is no smoking anymore. And even in restaurants, you have to go outside if you want to smoke. The car is for Germans the holy car. The holy cow, sorry. And I think waste separating, you know what it is. And the most important public holidays are Christmas, it's a family event. New Year's Eve, it's for friends. Epiphany, it's just for holidays. Then Easter, we have now the Easter week, the Holy Week, and next Sunday it's Easter Sunday, and we have one more holiday, Easter Monday. People give as a present chocolate, bunnies, and eggs. And that shows that Easter, it's more a kind of spring festival, an old spring festival, but nowadays explained as a Christian festival. And the children, the parents give children eggs made of chocolate or real eggs, and that's a very, very old fertility symbol. And another thing, what is really holy for Germans is the summer holiday. And many people book it 1 year in advance. And regarding our bread, we are very proud of our many different kinds of bread, rolls. We have Semmeln, Schrippen, Weckle. It's all the same, but they have different names in different regions. And we've more than 3,000 types of bread. And you can find this in the word Abendbrot, dinner. It means bread in the evening. And toast for Germans is not bread. Toast is toast, but it's not bread. It's just white. Okay, so we are at the end of our lesson. So sorry, we are again 8 minutes over the time, but give me a short impression, give me some bullet points. What could you take with you? Just some bullet points. What do you remember from today and yesterday? Yeah, Ms. Honey?
I think, firstly, it's a cultural thing, because we cannot do business with a foreign country, foreign partner without knowing their culture. Respect of their culture is the really important part. Be ready for the German, as you said. You are on time, you are always expect everything, be ready, be prepared before the meeting. And yes, don't waste each other times. So prepare well, get on point, and make sure that you are the person who can make the decision.
Yeah, thank you very much. What else? What could you take with you? One more impression? Or what do you remember? Yeah, Chung Lam Kwang.
Okay, so my experience about the class is three things. First, building trust. You must just build just the order and build just among together. The other thing is respect order, respect gender, respect culture, respect everything about the social. The third one is follow the rules. So you say a lot of tip and rules and many aspects of the German culture. So follow the rule and you will be fine.
Exactly.
Last but not least, be authentic. You be yourself. Thank you.
Very important. Be yourself. That's a good advice. Yeah. But I think that's a good sentence for the end of our lesson. Okay. So I think this was the last slide. Let me have a look. Yeah, I think you should have more possibilities for interpretation now, more options for actions. The ability to deal with conflict should one arise, and the ability to change the perspective. I think you are able now to think like a German in business context. So if there are no more questions, then you made it. Thank you very, very much. Thank you very much for your contributions, for your time. And I wish you and your company, I wish you a lot of success and good luck for your company, for you, for your family, for all of you, for the future. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Very
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you, Henry.
Thank you
Thank
very
you so
much.
much.
I just wanted to add something to the end. Thank you very much. At first, dear Kundri, I just wanted to mention here again the feedback to this training, to this amazing training. So you can find it on MPG Campus, and I will actually send the link to your Zalo group. So please try to do this feedback, because it's very important for us and for the program. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Nargis.
Thank you.
Yeah. So have a nice evening.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
Have a nice evening.
Henry,
Bye.
thank
Have a
you.
good day.
Bye bye.
Bye. Bye.